This is a six-figure vehicle. For some models, it's a multiple six-figure vehicle. And today, we're going to give you a definite answer on whether it's actually worth it. Stay with us. I'm John.
And I am Rhonda. And this is our new front porch.
Welcome back to the RV balance sheet, everyone. So let's get right into it. The RV industry has let's call it a reputation. And a big part of that reputation is inconsistent quality. Then in 2022, a new company called Brinkley RV explodes onto the scene. They're making a massive claims about changing the industry, about a revolutionary approach to quality, and they're charging a serious premium for it.
Which leads to the question we've been getting a lot. Is this just slick marketing, or is there real substance behind that shiny exterior?
We decided to find out for ourselves. We've spent weeks digging through their specs, the owner forums, and the industry awards, the company's own history. And in this video, we are going to lay out the complete balance sheet on the Brinkley RV so that you can decide if this is the right investment for you. All right, to really understand what Brinkley is, you first have to understand who Brinkley is. This isn't just some random startup. The five guys who started this company, they're like the all-star team of the RV industry. Several of them were the original co-founders of Grand Design RV.
So they left a hugely successful company to start a new company to compete with the company they already built.
And their mission this time was simple. Build it better, not cheaper, not faster, just better. They didn't just lease an old factory. They bought 252 acres and built the state-of-the-art campus from the ground up. This was a statement. They're here to stay.
But a nice building doesn't make a better RV. It's what goes inside that matters.
Okay, I'm going to geek out for a minute here because this is where your money is actually going. Let's start with the foundation.
Most manufacturers use standard components to hit a price point. Brinkley went the opposite way. They aren't standard tires, they're commercial grade, 16 ply on 17.5-inch wheels.
The suspension isn't a basic leaf spring on a fifth wheel. It's a Kurt touring coil system designed to reduce frame shock by half. And maybe the most important part, an anti-lock braking system.
Translation? You aren't immediately spending another $5,000 or $10,000 upgrading all the parts that you know are going to fail, which is what we had to do in the past. It's the buy once, cry once philosophy.
Exactly. And it's not just what's underneath. The walls on their travel trailers, it's not fiberglass with decals that will peel off in 3 years. It's seamless aluminum with automotive grade full body paint.
Inside, the woodwork has no nail holes. The drawers are dovetail jointed. It's small stuff, but it adds up to a feeling of residential quality that is just different.
But all the best parts in the world don't matter if they're put together poorly. And that brings us to Brinkley's secret weapon. I was absolutely blown away when I learned this. Before Brinkley RV is allowed to go to a dealer, they do something I've never heard of before. They put every single unit on an earthquake simulator.
He means an off-road simulation. It mimics the vibration of driving 150 miles on a really terrible road. They literally try to shake it apart inside the factory.
Yes, think about that. The loose cabinet door, the water line that wasn't tightened, the slide motor that was about to fail. They find that out before you do on your first family vacation 500 miles from home. I can't tell you how much frustration that one step would have saved us over the years.
Okay, that is actually impressive.
And here we are, the elephant in the room. A Brinkley RV is expensive.
You are paying a premium. There is no way around that fact. A Model G toy hauler can push $250,000. So you have to ask yourself, what are you paying for?
You're paying for the better tires, the better suspension, the paint, the fancy wood, and the earthquake test.
Right? But you're also paying for something else. You're paying for the possibility of better ownership experience. You're investing upfront to avoid the headaches later. But does that possibility match the reality? We'll give you our final verdict right after this.
So, after all that, we come back to the big question from the beginning. Is Brinkley RV worth the money? And the most honest answer we can give you is it depends entirely on what kind of RVer you are.
We broke it down into two groups. First, if you are a full-time RVer or you are a serious RVer who puts thousands of miles on your rig every year, then from our perspective, the answer is yes, absolutely. When your RV is your home, reliability isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The cost of repairs, the time spent in the shop, the constant worry, that has a huge price. The premium you pay for a Brinkley is an investment against all of that. The math works.
But if you're a weekend warrior or a family that camps a few weeks a year, that math gets a lot harder. Spending an extra 20 or 30 or $40,000 for commercial grade components that you might only use for 500 miles a year, it's a tough sell. You might be better off with a great model from another brand and a top tier extended warranty.
Brinkley isn't selling a cheaper RV, they're selling a more complete RV. You're paying a premium to skip the first year of headaches that have become normal in this industry. For some people, that peace of mind is worth every single penny.
So that's our deep dive, but the front porch is about conversation. And this is where you come in. We especially want to hear from the Brinkley owners out there. Did we get this right?
Good or bad, your story could be the final piece of the puzzle that helps someone else make one of the biggest purchases of their life. Let us all know in the comments.
If this video brought you some real value today and helped you understand the market a little better, do us a huge favor and click that like button. It tells YouTube we're doing something right and it helps our community grow. And of course, if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and ring the bell to join the road crew. We've got a lot more to talk about.
Adventure is calling.
And we must go.